And they could have been like, no, I'm so sorry, I had no idea. And they could have said, well, if it happens again, this is what we're going to have to do. But you suspend the kid for 5 days. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. An entire week of school you suspend the kid for bringing a cap gun. Not only that, but your ignorant butt decides that you need to interrogate him so long that you make him wet his pants. If I was the parent of that kid, I would have gone up to that school and broken my good foot off in your butt. I'm just going to tell you exactly how it would have been if it was going to be me. If you had done that to one of my children, I would have gone to jail. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. And the only thing that you would have heard by the time it was all over was probably the little cartoon birdies. And then this is what I would have heard behind me, because they would have thrown my butt in a cell. And you know what? I'd have been just fine with that. I really don't care. Because you made my 5-year-old kid cry. Bear with me for just a sec, folks. We're going to go ahead and play another song real quick. Alright folks, well, welcome back. For those of you who may have heard that ring in the background, for those of you who aren't aware, I am in Oklahoma. We have had quite a bit of storm stuff going on lately, so can't really quiet the phone in these times because I have people that I'm still trying to keep up with and touch base with, because we had a nice little round of it again yesterday. So far everybody that I know is okay, and that is great. So yeah, at this point, gonna take just a moment. Okay. Sorry, I had to check something for a second because I got a message on Facebook. Joys of doing live radio, but it wasn't anything to do with the show. Alright, so we've touched on how crazy the world has gotten and the idiots who made the 5-year-old cry. That was one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about on the other show today. And I guess one of the other things that's really got me all kinds of worked up is just the fact that it seems like it's taking the mainstream media a very long time to finally start to figure out that maybe some of the stuff this administration's doing is a really bad idea. I mean, come on, folks. Let's look at all this stuff logically for a second. I mean, look at everything that's been going on. You have the IRS targeting the enemies of the administration. I mean, let's face it. Obama has never, ever once said anything positive about the Tea Party. And suddenly anybody who has the word Patriot or Tea Party in a 501c3 application is suddenly targeted. I don't know about you guys, but I seem to remember that within the last few months of the election, all of the Tea Party stuff just kind of died. I really have to wonder if maybe that might not be part of it. Was it because that, all of a sudden all these groups found themselves under additional scrutiny and maybe they went back in their corner and hid? I really hope that's not what happened, but I have a pretty good idea that that's probably exactly what happened. So we have the IRS thing going on, which now, interestingly enough, they fired someone over this situation, and yet it wasn't the person that was in charge when any of it happened. And then we have the whole Holder situation with the sudden need to grab months and months and months worth of phone records of AP press officials and specifically targeting a couple of, at least one Fox reporter that I know of. And he's suddenly in charge of investigating this himself. He is in charge of investigating himself. How exactly does that work? That would be like putting the guy who set the fire at an arson investigation in charge of the arson investigation. Pretty sure you're not going to get any answers when you do stuff that stupid. I mean, Obama's finally starting to lose his supporters when folks like Jay Leno have made him the butt of several jokes lately. Let's face it, Jay Leno's not exactly a conservative. But he knows which way the wind's blowing, and he knows that in order to keep people listening to a show, he has to make them laugh. So what's he doing? He's doing what he always does, making fun of the president. But why is he doing it to this one? It's because everybody's starting to see that maybe he isn't the right guy for this job after all. Do I say that lightly? No. Would I be any more happy if the love child of Walter, the dummy from Jeff Dunham, and the Joker was the one running the country? Oh, and for those of you who aren't familiar with my shows, that's what I lovingly call Crazy Uncle Joe. The Vice President of the United States who basically told people advice about using a shotgun that would get your normal person thrown in jail on the spot. But at this point, the show is starting to come to a close, so gonna take just a couple more minutes to wind a few things down. Don't know how often we're gonna use this, because I do want to get a listen to see what the sound quality's like, because on the test it didn't work so well, but I did try to do it as a podcast, so I'm not quite sure how that works. So this time I just dove in, recorded a live episode, figured I'd throw some music at you guys, give you guys a little bit of an idea of what I'm about. For those of you who don't know about my Facebook page and my Twitter account know about those. Pardon me, that mute button's a little far away sometimes. Alright, got that out of the system, I think. Okay, so we do have a Facebook page where everybody's allowed to come voice their opinions, as long as you don't start cussing, screaming anybody out, or talking like an idiot. We have a no-ban policy for the most part. Don't push it, though. I tend to be the one with the shortest fuse, so you might get a temporary ban while the rest of the admins kind of talk it over. So if you decide to come check it out, that's cool. Just make sure you remain civil while you're here. Also have a Twitter account at it's double R. It's at double R underscore or double underscore R underscore OKC. Kind of the same as the URL for the show, or the page attached to the show, just to kind of give you a general idea. Alright, so at this point, this is normally when I start going into a few other things, and for those of you, if you have liked at least a little bit of this that has made sense and you want to hear more about what we do, you are more than welcome to visit our main hosting area, which is on Blog Talk. We run, right now, 4 shows a week, typically ranging from anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. We have the Common Ground Political Radio Show, which is hosted by myself and my partner in crime over there, Dave, a.k.a. Oklahoma Lefty. We also house this show currently, but due to technical issues, I wasn't able to run that show today, and I just really had to get the radio thing out of my system, and I found this and wanted to test it out, because, like I said, over here, the network idea is really, really cheap. So if I can make this work to my advantage, because, as I said, we already have 4 full-time hosts. Well, all of us have other jobs, because, of course, we don't make any money at it, but we still do a certain number of shows a week. I'm on Common Ground twice a week, and I run this show over there once a week. And then Dave has an entirely music-based show, which probably would never make the transition over here, but it is available over there. And then we also have one of our other admins who is a libertarian named Steve, goes by the name of Otter, and he has had a blog for a while now called The Otter Limits. Well, he's bringing his blog to the radio, and we will have the Otter Limits show in prime time every Wednesday. Not sure on a time frame yet. However, as I seem to be able to do pretty much as many shows as I want to a day over here, I may use this one every so often, just to get a few things off my chest and maybe publicize the other stuff that we have going on. But for those of you who've never checked out anything that we've done before, it's been my pleasure spending the last half hour with you. We're down to about a minute and, well, actually, I guess about 2 minutes and 15 seconds now. So I do just want to say thanks for checking out the show. Since it was an abbreviated show, I didn't really do too much prep work. I just grabbed a couple of the articles I had from the other show that I was going to do. I do typically try to have a show pretty well pre-planned out, and as I said, this one was basically just a test to see how well this service works compared to the one that we're on currently. So if I like the way the service sounds once I test it out here in a moment, you may hear more of me over here, because if nothing else, for what I'm paying over there, I can get almost twice as much for half the money. So I may continue the subscription over there for the folks that want to use the Blog Talk one, and I may move my show completely over here. You never know, because it's only an extra $20 a month, and I'm already paying $40. So if that gets us more room for more hosts over there, and I can move my show completely over here, I did find some interesting ways in the forums to be able to actually still accept callers. Looks like it would be Skype only on this current setup. By the way, if anybody knows of any way to route landlines into that situation, please feel free to let me know, because like I said, at some point we do plan on actually trying to get our network started with some of the hosts that we've got wanting to come in. But that is pretty much going to do it for today. We're down to about 45 seconds now. So once again, just want to say thanks for hanging in with us, and we will see you next time.